So I just wanted to take a little pause here before we got started painting to talk about my painting process and the paints that I'm going to be using. So first I'm going to start with this Universal Bonding Primer by Rust-oleum. It's going to be a gray, silvery color. I'm really doing that down after the sanding just to make sure that I have a layer of adhesive so that the paint will stick to the car very well. I'm not too concerned because the paint that I'm using is also a paint primer. It is a flat black, also by Rust-oleum. It's an advanced formula, so I'm pretty sure it's going to stick pretty well. And then right after that, once I take all the tape off, if there are any spots that I missed spray painting or just spots that were covered by the tape, I'm going to use this Testors black acrylic paint. This is really just going to fill in the gaps, and hopefully I can brush tiny little bits without being too noticeable. So those are the paints that I'm going to use. I'm going to do 1 coat on the primer and then 2 on the black, and then it has to rest for about 2 days, and then I can start working with the model again. So we're heading across the street to go paint this model in a dirt lot. So hopefully this goes well. We got the paint primer first of course, so we'll see how this goes. Hopefully not too bad. So now it's been about 48 hours, actually it's been about 3 days, so the paint has definitely dried, it's set, so now I'm ready to get the model and take a look at it, see how we've done, take some tape off, and then we'll go from there. Alright, so I think I should probably start by taking the tape off, but let's just look at the model real quick. Honestly, the paint looks pretty good. I'm happy with the consistency. There's not really any parts that I see. Yeah, there's one spot there that I missed a little bit, but that's not super visible. Let's check here. The doors turned out pretty good, and they're, I believe, metal, so that turned out pretty good. The plastic has some texture to it, but here these are super smooth. The doors on both sides are. The mirrors look pretty good. And then the hood here, this looks pretty good. I'm super happy with the way that this turned out for my first time painting the model. So I'm super happy about that. So let's take some tape off. I'll start with the brake light tape here. Alright, not too bad. There's tiny little dots that I'm going to do some touch-up paint on, but that's not a lot for that first brake light, so that's awesome. Oh, got some more I gotta do on this one. That's alright. Yeah, there's quite a good deal I have to do on that side, but still, it's not the worst I've ever seen, so hopefully I can do that without much hassle. Let's check out the push bar that I taped off here. There's not much that would have been visible. I really just didn't want to get any paint on it, because this is all interior engine, so hopefully there's really nothing that matters that I didn't get paint on. So there we have it, got the tape off there. Definitely nothing I need to repaint, because that is all not visible once it's all put together, since this is interior with the engine compartment. The only spot I'm going to have to do some touch-up paint on is around these brake lights, especially this one. That one needs just a little bit, so that hopefully won't be too bad. It's just a few dabs of paint, and hopefully I don't drip any and don't make a big mess, so I'll do that right now. Put the little back of the sandpaper. I use sandpaper just as a drop cloth on my desk here. Alright, so I just got the touch-up paint done on this, and it's already drying super fast, so I'm just going to give it a few more minutes to dry, and then I'm going to check it out again and make sure there's nothing I missed. It looks a ton better already. There's really no gap around the taillights where there was, so the only other part I might touch up with a little touch-up paint is this front part here, just because that's visible from the front, and I'm worried about that, and that should be about all that I'm worried about. It does dry super flat. It's hilarious. It looks just like the spray paint. I put it around some spots of the taillights, the black ring around them. You can already see where there's a little flat paint drying, but again, I'm not too concerned about that. As long as I didn't have green or tan showing through, that is all that I don't want to see. Black is okay. So hopefully that'll dry up the next few minutes, and we're rocking and rolling with this model. It's ready to go.